In a world where Wheat and I took his medication and became a half-competent mod developer.
I'm making a very weird Minecraft mod. So yeah, I've been working on a little side project recently. Pretty much whenever I'm not motivated to work on Wheat Death of the Universe, I'll work on this mod. Essentially, the idea is that the player spawns in a random dimension out of like 10 dimensions that I make, and each dimension has its own progression and survival and attributes, and then eventually you can travel between each one and conquer them all. This is the first dimension I created, the glass dimension, which is heavily inspired by the crystal dimension in Ore Spawn. You're gonna see a lot of similarities if you played Ore Spawn. They're kinda inspired, but I tried to make it original in some places. It's also inspired by this one survival challenge thing that I used to do back on the Xbox One edition days of Minecraft. I used to love making super flat worlds that were completely made out of glass, so you had to like survive through mine shafts and stuff, but you could see them through the world. So you might see some similarities there in this dimension. This is what you see when you enter the dimension the first time. Obviously, you'll notice that a majority of the blocks are see-through. They're all made out of glass. Thankfully, though, there are still trees around here, although they're crystal trees. And since they're made out of glass, look what happens when I break one. My hands have a bunch of glass shards stuck in them now, and this makes it where mining blocks damages me. Thankfully though, it's only temporary. Worth noting though, this is preventable. If you break crystal blocks with something in your hand, then you don't get hand shards. You can see the block just broke, it didn't explode into pieces and get stuck in me or anything. But yeah, now I have some crystal logs. These can be turned into crystal planks, and these can be turned into crystal sticks and a crafting table. I wanted to make a custom crafting table, but I couldn't figure it out. These crystal sticks can be used to make tools, like a crystal pickaxe for example. And then you can use the pickaxe to efficiently mine these crystal blocks. As you can see, we have crystal now, which is what a majority of the world is made out of. And these can be used to make tools. You can see a kayanite pickaxe. Let's make a kayanite sword, and you know, why the hell not? We'll make a kayanite hoe as well. You may notice that from all the damage I've been taking from hand shards, I'm running low on hunger. But yeah, I got a crystal apple. Although be careful with crystal apples, because if you eat them, they break in your mouth and you get mouth shards. And mouth shards makes you randomly take damage, is all. It's kind of like poison, but less consistent. Don't worry though, the crystal dimension has more food options besides the apples. You may have noticed throughout this whole video, we have these butterflies flying around. They spawn from butterfly nests, which spawn around the dimension. And if you kill a butterfly, it drops butter, which can be eaten without mouth shards, although it doesn't give you a lot of hunger because these guys are very common, so I advise hunting them regularly. Although they're kind of hard to hit because they're all flying in the air. Well, don't worry, with 3 crystal and 3 string, you can make a kayanite bow. Ignore the requires crystal shards thing, I forgot to remove that because I removed crystal shards. These just use regular arrows and you can shoot them. It's just a regular bow, but made out of kayanite. And the arrows shoot way further than a normal bow, I'm pretty sure, so it is better in terms of like arrow velocity. You can see? Boom, just snipe that butterfly. The glass dimension is really relaxed and chill during the day. But let's see what happens during the night. This is when the horrible monsters of the dimension start to show up. Although they're actually not that bad, they're pretty chill. I'm gonna give myself night vision for your viewing pleasure. Now in this dimension there are crystal zombies. And these guys are similar to regular zombies, except they're way faster, and they can see you from even further away. Keep that in mind, they spawn very commonly too. I'm already getting mugged right now. Please don't kill me. Of course, in this dimension, regular spiders can spawn as well, so don't worry, you can get string here for the kayanite bow. Also, if you kill crystal zombies with your bare hand, you still get hand shards, so keep that in mind. You gotta use a weapon or else. The next new enemy is the super creeper. And these guys are really dangerous because they run really fast. And if you get close to one, you better run, because they make a really big explosion. Alright, that didn't look like that much because this dimension's blocks are really sturdy, but like, see how it hit all the trees and stuff? Not very good. Also, one more thing about the mobs that I forgot to mention. Butterflies can be bred with the 3 types of flowers in this dimension. They can be bred with the crystal rose, the crystal dandelion, and there's like a blue one too. I don't know where it is. The crystal cornflower. The sun is rising. Now, how do we actually progress in this dimension? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Well, progression in this dimension is actually pretty simple. We're gonna need some more crystal. With 8 crystal, we can make the crystal furnace. You've got to be kidding me. This is what the crystal furnace looks like inside. It takes regular fuel and you can smelt whatever. It's a regular furnace, basically. But I made it myself, so it's better. Or should I say, butter. With 9 butter, you can make butter blocks. It's just a decorative thing, and they're one of the only non-transparent blocks you can make in this dimension, besides like the crafting table, and there's also obsidian here too. Anyway, the crystal furnace is going to be needed for progression. Worth noting, you can actually smelt crystal logs into charcoal, and then with a crystal stick and charcoal, you can make torches. So torches are possible to get in this dimension. But yeah, how do we progress? Well, to do that, we're gonna have to go mining. And what's really handy about this dimension, since it's transparent, we can just dig straight down. Now, there's a few different ores in this dimension we're gonna be on the lookout for. First of all, this red shit. This is pyro. You're gonna want to stand back to mine it because it explodes. Wasn't very careful there, oops. You can see though, after it exploded, it actually dropped some of the pyro over there, which is good. We're gonna need that later. The other ore that's important right now is that brown stuff. If you break this, you get iron. So yeah, iron can be collected in this dimension, and then you can smelt it in the crystal furnace, which is good because we need an iron pickaxe to progress. And now we can grab the actual ores we want, although we're gonna want more pyro before we get anything else, and you'll see why. Now, before we talk about what that's actually for, we are gonna have to dig deeper to get the rest of these new ores. First of all, this pink stuff, this is rose quartz. More on that later, let's keep digging. This yellow stuff is urine stone. More on that later, and then we have the green stuff. This is mintonite. You know. Right now, these 3 ores cannot be used for tools alone. We're gonna have to make something special with the pyro. With 4 pyro like this and 1 crystal furnace, you can get the crystal forge. And this is a handy dandy device. Yes, we use this for alloying because all 3 of these ores can be mixed together. For example, I don't know, it's like rose quartz and mintonite. Mintonite. Yeah, just let it smelt and we'll get something pretty special. Mixed rosenite. And this is one of the new alloyed ores. The next one is just the mintonite and urine stone. This is mixed mint stone. And then with urine stone and rose quartz, you can get mixed urine quartz ingot. So yeah, these are the 3 late game ores. And of course, they all have armor and tool variants. Now, these are all essentially the diamond equivalent, although they're a little weaker than diamond, but they're still the best tool you can get in this dimension. Worth noting, I'm gonna make it so they're all a little different. Like, I want to make it so, like, wearing the armor, depending on which one you pick, like, can give you a different effect, and then the swords will also do something different, like urine quartz can poison, mint stone can blind, stuff like that. Maybe, I'm kind of working it out. I want to have these be more different than just 3 of the same variant, though. So, if you guys have ideas on how to differentiate them, suggest it in the comments. In fact, if you have ideas at all for this mod in general, even like new dimensions, stuff that isn't related to the crystal stuff, then please drop them in the comments. Lastly, with all this endgame crap, there's new structures we can conquer. And by structures, I mean there's just one. Here it is. This is the Crystal Fortress. Now, you can actually visit these whenever. You don't have to get it with this endgame gear. So you could totally speedrun this, and I actually recommend that because this is the only place in the dimension where you can find dirt. But yeah, you can see the structure is lined with more nests. These are crystal zombie nests, I think. There's crystal zombie, leech, and skeleton nests littered throughout, this area. You can see there's a skeleton spawn right here. Burn area. But yeah, that's all it really boils down to. There's a bunch of dangerous enemies here, a bunch of good loot, so, you know, just keep that in mind. Anyway, let's take a gander at some of the chest loot. You can see here we got some enchanted crystal tools, as well as butter and rotten flesh. There's a lot of exclusive resources you can get around here. You can see in this chest we have Jenkum, which is a new questionable resource we'll get to after we conquer this place. You may notice the other item we got. It looked a little glitchy. Here it is. Undefined. Undefined is a very special item, which we will also talk about along with the Jenkum. I'll keep these in my hotbar so we remember. This chest. Oh, it has a fortune cookie. Here's another undefined. These things don't stack. And also, there were melon seeds in here, so you can grow melons. You can take the hose and then just, like, till the grass down. Plant your melon seeds. Pretty good. That loot may have seemed mediocre, but there's also rarer chests as well, if I can find any of them. But yeah, let's talk about the 3 new items that we got from the Crystal Fortress. Worth mentioning, these are also going to be able to spawn in other dimensions. They're not just going to be exclusive to the Crystal one. But yeah, we will start with the fortune cookie because it's the most mundane. If you right-click it, it gives you a fortune. These may or may not be helpful. And next we have Jenkum. And if you know anything about Jenkum in real life, it's kind of like that. Now this is what happens when you use Jenkum. Uh-oh. Yeah, you're poisoned and nauseous, and then this other effect doesn't matter. Don't even worry about it, man. This is great. I'm having a great time. Play the mod to find out what this does. Basically, that item makes you hallucinate. And then the last item we got is undefined. Right-click to use, and it does something random. Very random. Also play the mod to find out what that does. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you have any ideas for either Wait Death of the Universe or this mod, which I'm going to call Alternate Craft for now, then let me know. And yeah, subscribe, like, comment, join my Discord, follow me on Twitter, playing Dutch basis, subscribe to my second channel, visit my saying goodbye.